Hey friend, I have a guided reading for you today. Feel free as I'm talking to gaze at the cards, see if anything tickles your own intuition. Remember, some things are going to resonate with you more, some things might resonate less, but the important part is if you're growing. Let's go ahead and get started. Guiding our reading today, we have Gotcha. When I'm looking at Gotcha, I'm getting this kind of an image of like, you see like a little kid trying to stay hidden, being told don't peek, and they're like, I'm not looking, I'm not looking. You have somebody right now, or multiple somebodies, who see you, and maybe they aren't obvious and they're kind of like in the background trying to stay hidden, but you have been noticed. Starting out, we have the Hanged Man, right? Maybe you feel you're in a little bit of suspension. Maybe the universe is asking you to look at something in a different light, right? You kind of feel like things aren't moving. Maybe something is, on pause, but there is more going on behind the scenes, right? You are in this energy of the Empress, right? When we look at the Empress, this imagery of this pregnant woman, this, embodiment of divinity, of the divine feminine incarnate in physical form. You have something that you are working on right now, right? That suspended feeling is, in fact, actually this pregnant energy, the potential something that you are creating for yourself. And I'm getting this impression when I, pulled the Empress of 8 months, right? Not saying that something is 8 months out, but, like if we think of like the terms of like a pregnancy, right? You have your trimesters, you are 8 months along, you are at that very end. Maybe you're not literally 1 month remaining, but you're right there just at the end, and you're almost ready to birth this new thing, to this new potential, right? You are, in fact, birthing this energy of the sun. You are the sun. You're stepping into this new kind of vitality, this new self-assuredness, joy, life, this reborn kind of energy, right? We come out of winter into the spring, this energy of rebirth, right? So you have something that you've been putting energy into, that you've, been cultivating, that you are almost ready to give birth to. And the thing is, because you are in this sun energy, it really makes it where you are just very super visible, right? The sun shines on everybody. It shines on the whole entire world, not just one area in particular. The sun isn't picky. It just shines in general for anybody to see. And because you're shining, because you're visible, and you have people who are seeing you now, you're coming into this Two of Wands, right? Somebody wants to join you along this new adventure, to join you along in this new thing that you've created for yourself, right? There's this potential of a partnership being offered, right? You have these two fairy boys here who, they're setting out on a new adventure, and they've decided that they're gonna, be a team and go on this adventure together. Like, I've got your back, you've got my back, right? And you have skills. You've been developing your own abilities, right? You have this Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords in this deck, they're very ready, they're very trained, they've practiced, they've got, their sense of self, their protection, their powers, their abilities, and their intuition, right? Particularly, I see this crow helmet, on their head. You have intuitive abilities that are guiding you along, that are helping you to move forward, right? So that way, when you're traversing the new thing, when you're traveling in this new experience, you can rely on your intuition to help you really navigate where you're going, right? And to help you embody this, right? We have the priest. The priest is our Hierophant card, right? Their tradition, the embodiment, that, somebody that has made their spiritual practice very important. Maybe as a career, you could be somebody who, you are a spiritual teacher, you're a spiritual leader. It is time for you to step into that role, to step into that guidance. But to remember that you're also a human, right? You're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to make good decisions. You're going to make bad decisions. But ultimately, the point is for you to kind of just really step into your embodiment and your integrity when it comes to this spiritual process, this spiritual energy. You have, in fact, tapped into something powerful, into some kind of primordial energy. The Ace of Swords in this deck, right? The Fairy Kingdom, they had this magical sword that they used to tap into this rose, into this beautiful magical rose garden in order to bring about their prosperity. you have tapped into something within yourself very powerful, very profound, that has you with this sense of assuredness, with this sense of, I know what I want and I'm going to move forward in this direction because this is the thing that I've decided on. So you have made this decision. Now, you didn't necessarily have to take the path that you've chosen, but you want it for yourself, right? You've made this decision that this is the direction I'm going to go because this is something that's important to me. And because you've made that decision, the universe has offered you some kind of a blessing, some sort of gift, right? We have the Four of Wands in this deck. We have this fairy girl. She's giving this egg to the two boys here. It could be anything. Could be a dragon. Could be a phoenix. There's so much potential because you've made that choice that you want to walk this path. The universe has said, okay, let me give you something that is going to allow you to do this thing, that's going to allow you to succeed, to be able to move forward. And you don't quite yet know exactly what it is, right? We have a whole entire future spread out in front of us, so you have all this potential, right? Maybe you have identified gifts, you've identified that you have this egg, but you don't know quite yet what it's going to turn into. And because right now things are still in the early stages, you want to kind of protect your energy. We have the Four of Pentacles. The fairy girl here, she's done her gardening, she's done her work, and she's got these resources and stores that she's built up for herself. But then there's this little rat over here, sneaking behind her, stealing from her resources. There is this thing, where yes, fruit will attract, insects and animals and, creatures to spread its seeds, but it also attracts flies, right? You have anything and everything that could possibly be attracted to your light, to your new possibilities. So you want to kind of create this container, this safety for yourself, this protection, so that way whatever it is that you're building is protected from being sabotaged, is protected from something on the outside. And I get the impression with this Devil card coming up that there's some major negative kind of energy that, sees you succeeding and does not like that you are. This could be a person who, is reliant on you being down, is reliant on you not having self-esteem, self-assuredness, self-power. It could be a spirit that, really kind of draws on your difficulties and struggles to kind of, get that energy from you. And it doesn't like that you're stepping into this new blessed kind of, state for yourself, that you are moving on into something better. But you are this Queen of Cups, right? You do have this attractive energy, right? And because this energy is powerful enough to attract some sort of negativity, some sort of resistance from somebody or something outside of yourself, this is also a clue to you about your own potential, about your own power, right? She is still the Queen of Cups. You still are sovereign in yourself. You have this power, and you realize that you have the ability to attract to yourself what you want. If you can attract things that are resisting you succeeding, that means that you have something huge and powerful that you're creating, and you are able to even attract toward you the things that are going to help you, that are going to really bring in the blessings. In fact, you are attracting the blessings themselves, right? The Ace of Pentacles, really getting this kind of cornucopia energy, right? You have all of these fruits and vegetables and nuts and grains and everything, that have been gathered up. You are attracting to yourself the blessings, and you are attracting to yourself somebody to, connect with, somebody to really grow and build together with, right? We have the Lovers. The Lovers could be choice. The Lovers could be that connection between the mind and the heart. But in this case, I'm getting this as the Lovers is just that, the Lovers. You are attracting somebody into your life, that you really can connect with, that you can really have that romantic bond with, and they want to help you see your dreams to success, right? You had that egg. Hold on, where's that card? You had this egg in the Four of Wands, right? And now you have this Six of Wands, the egg hatching. This person that you are attracting, this positive person that you are attracting, as opposed to the negative things that are seeing you moving in a direction that they're trying to sabotage. This person wants to help you succeed, wants to help you hatch that egg, to be able to really see what your potential is, to discover this gift and this new experience for yourself, right? And, together you can move into the Ten of Cups, to this contentment, the family, the satisfaction, the joy that comes from community, the joy that comes from this love, this, beautiful connection when you work together to be able to create something else, right? To be able to have that physical, external support that brings you this sense of contentment that, not only prevents the negative things from being able to stop you, but boosts and really supports you, really helps you to grow and reach your goals. And they're going to put in, a lot of practical action here with this Three of Pentacles, right? We would think of the Three of Pentacles as the, the artist working on the temple, the priest overwatching, and, the wealthy individual funding the work, right? This individual has some sort of a resource, has something that they can bring to the table that's really going to kind of give you that boost, that's going to give you that extra resource to be able to kind of help, you move along, to be able to help the wheel to, get turning again. Whether, you feel stuck, this person comes in and their energy kind of, brings you into this Wheel of Fortune. This is the turning, right? To be able to step out of this feeling of stuck, to be able to step out of your current circumstances into the beautiful new circumstances that you have coming for you. Now, this person's pretty practical. Maybe at first they don't seem, to be the most exciting and fantastic, glowy, fiery energy like maybe you would see with like the Knight of Wands, right? But this King of Pentacles, they're very skilled, they're very knowledgeable, they know how to manage their money, they know how to manage their time and their resources, right? They might not be the life of the party, but without them, the party wouldn't happen, right? They bring the resources, they bring the capabilities, they really know how to connect the dots in order to make things happen, to make some sort of a reality for you. We have this Nine of Cups, right? That emotional satisfaction, that contentment. This person, they might not bring, that, like I said, that fiery energy, but what they do bring is this satisfaction and this wealth and this contentment, right? You would think of the Nine of Cups, this individual, they're looking really happy, really satisfied and smug, and they've got the Nine Cups behind them. This person brings that kind of energy. They really kind of help you to feel that inner wealth, that inner richness and contentment and satisfaction that, really kind of exudes into the life around you, exudes into the world around you. And you are the one who gets to be that fiery energy, right? We have the Queen of Wands. She is that witch of the tarot. She knows how to draw things to her. She's very magnetic. Your energy pulls toward you the circumstances, the people, the resources, whatever it is that you need to manifest your reality. All right, friend, I hope this reading has been encouraging for you. You are absolutely moving into something new and beautiful for yourself. You've got help coming. Protect your energies and protect your resources right now so that any negative influences don't end up preventing you or slowing you down from reaching the point where you're going. You have the support coming in, and you have those who want to see you succeed coming in, who are going to offer you that help. If this reading's been helpful for you, I would absolutely love it if you would leave a like for me, drop a comment. If you don't know what to comment, go ahead and leave some sunflower emojis. Sunflower is a spirit guide of mine that'll let me know that you see me. It also really helps the algorithm to kind of keep moving my videos out. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell icon and click on all. The algorithm changes don't guarantee you're going to see a video anymore just because you're subscribed to a channel. Then head into my channel, find a video that resonates with you, and I will see you in the next one.